Welcome back to the Israel Ramos Show, where I bring up important topics in today's troubled world we live in. And I try to address the issue of the topics that I discuss to the best of my knowledge and ability. Today I'm going to talk about stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. And why? The reason why it's so important not to allow your negative feelings, like feeling sorry for yourself, to get the best of you, because if you allow your negative feelings by feeling sorry for yourself get to you, it will destroy you. We all go through negative feelings like depression, loneliness. We feel sorry for ourselves time to time for many different reasons. Maybe someone in your life who you gave your heart, your corazon, your friendship, your time, and they failed you. And you don't feel important anymore because that person is not in your life and you miss that person. It all depends. That's why you may be feeling sorry for yourself. Maybe that person didn't validate you the way they should have. There's many reasons why a person could feel sorry for themselves. But it's very important that you do not allow that negative feeling of you feeling sorry for yourself to get the best of you because it will destroy you. You have to love yourself enough to continue to live your life. And you got to love that person enough to let him go. That's why it's so important not to allow or to base your happiness on any relationship because people can and will fail you time to time. We do not live in a perfect world. People are not perfect. If there's a person in your life why you feel sorry for yourself that didn't validate you the way they should have, and they're not really sorry for in the way they hurt you, maybe something they said or something they did to you, and you feel sorry for yourself because you missed that person. It all depends. If you want to let this person know how you feel, that's fine. But if the person went out of their way to hurt you and they're not remorse, they don't care about the friendship anymore, then it's time to say bye bye. And that's basically it. You have to love yourself enough to let them go. Validate, appreciate, cherish the memories because there's a lot of friendships in my life where I will always cherish the good times we had, whether it was a friendship with a male or a female. You should always cherish the moments because it was that time in your life where somebody was very special to you. Someone gave you their time and you have memories with that person. You should always try to remember the good times you had with that person. Don't focus on the negative because our time on this planet is very little. And we should always cherish the good times we have with people. We have to love people enough to let them go. But don't give in to these feelings of feeling sorry for yourself because they will destroy you. Some people tend to take it out of food, and that's another mistake because then you're going to have a weight issue and then you're going to fall into a depression because you won't be happy with your weight. So it's very important that you don't take it out on food. How do you deal with feeling sorry for yourself? If you have to cry and you have to have a good cry, then you cry. It's a very healthy thing to do that you let it out. You don't hold it to yourself. Maybe you might want to join a support group where you're going to get to listen to people's testimony, why they feel sorry for themselves. And in those support groups, it's a wonderful thing because you get to support each other. Remember that there's a lot of good men and women. There's still a lot of good men and women in the world, even though you may be missing someone who is there to you. But you got to continue. You got to move forward because that's how winning is done. Look at it this way. When you look back, the ground is falling, caving in, is falling down. There is nothing for you when you go back. You got to move forward. You overcome negativity by doing good, by keeping your mind occupied. There's a lot of great books out there that you can read. And if you don't really like to read much or you get tired, now they have great apps that you could scan any page and it'll read it for you at any speed you like. But the important thing is that you continue to feed your mind. The mind is a horrible thing to waste. You must continue to feed your mind and get off this negativity of feeling sorry for yourself. We all go through different stages in our life. because we have emotions. But the thing is dealing with it, fixing it, not allowing your negative feelings to get the best of you to the point where you don't even want to go outside anymore. You want to stay home all the time. Go for a nice walk. Feed the birds, the squirrels. Go to the zoo. Go to the movies. Take up a hobby, maybe cooking, CPR, swimming, because that's how you'll meet other people too, if you take up hobbies. But don't spend so much time by yourself. Like I said, there's a lot of great books out there that people worked really hard in the research that they've done to put those books together that will really help you, because knowledge is power, my friend. Knowledge is power. It is very important that you continue to feed your mind and take care of your body, eat healthy, make the healthy choice. I tend to obviously I love going for walks, because when I go for walks, I'm not under any physical pressure, because I'm just walking at the pace that I want. And I get to reflect on my life. I get to feed the birds, the squirrels. Once in a while, I like to ask a homeless person if I could get them something to eat, and I'll sit with them. I'll wear a mask, of course, because you got to always protect yourself. And I'll listen to them, and I'll respond to them, and I'll try to encourage them, because I want to know that the little time that I have on this planet Earth, I made a difference in somebody's life. See, when you have that attitude where you want to make a difference and you don't just want to live for yourself, like life, you don't want life to just be about you, but you want to make a difference in someone's life, you're really going to feel good about yourself. You're going to become a dynamic person. But if you're the type of person that all you live is for yourself, then I feel sorry for you, because that is not your purpose or my purpose, is to live for yourself. How do you want to be known? You want to be known as a person that made a difference in somebody's life. Maybe you could volunteer. There's a lot of volunteer that you could do. Help feed the homeless, or whatever volunteer. You could Google it. There's so many. I mean, if you have the time, it's up to you. But there's many ways you could occupy your mind. But the most important thing is that you keep your mind growing. That's why I suggest you finding books that will help you with you feeling sorry for yourself. Or maybe you feel depressed. You feel lonely. You're very lonely. You don't feel like nobody cares for you anymore. Nobody cares. It's hard to find a good friend these days. Well, how in the world do you expect to find a good friend if you don't go to church, you don't take up a hobby, you don't learn something new? Like I said, whether it's cooking, swimming, CPR, whatever it is, but continue to learn, because God told the Jewish people in the Bible, my people perish without a vision. If you don't set goals in your life, then how you expect to achieve anything? It could even be going to the gym. Maybe you need to join a gym or yoga. Whatever it is, keep your mind, soul, and body growing. Don't put limits on yourself. Don't spend so much time by yourself or in your house. A stranger is a friend you don't know. Continue to grow. Continue to feed your mind. It's very important that you continue to keep your mind growing. And maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you should start keeping a diary and write all your thoughts down and then read them back to yourself. You know, I find that very helpful when you could just write down, keep your own personal diary and write down how you feel. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to write a movie script. Whatever it is that you want to do, it's important that you pursue it. But keep your mind growing. And don't give in to these feelings of feeling sorry for yourself. Because like I said, if you allow those feelings to get the best of you, they will destroy you. There's too many good men out there and women for you to lose your mind over a person. If that person was not worth you coming back to them and telling them how much you missed them, it all depends, because I've had friends where I went back and I discussed certain issues with them and they didn't really mean to say the things they said. And they really were sorry, and I found that they missed me, and I let them know that I missed them, and we became friends again. I mean, you gotta humble yourself. You can't let your pride get the best of you. I mean, what's the worst thing they could say is they could be more negative, and if you try to make peace with somebody that you care about, if they do not respond in a positive way, then you know they will never work going back to. Then you continue with your life. You love yourself enough to let them go. Love yourself enough to let them go. Love them enough to let them go. But cherish the good moments, the good memories. I thank everybody that's been in my life. Even I don't really want to dwell on the negative for the good times we had. And that's it. And I continue to grow. You want to love yourself. How in the world do you expect anyone to love you if you don't love yourself? You have to love yourself. You have to be kind to yourself. That's why it's important for you to continue to read. And like I said, there's a lot of great apps out there that you scan the page, it'll read it for you. You could either listen or read along with it, but continue to grow. Don't stop growing. Do things, eat healthy. Make sure you take care of yourself. Don't stop eating healthy just because you're feeling sorry for yourself. Like I said, we all need a good cry once in a while. It's very healthy to cry and let it out. Maybe you need a counselor. You need somebody to listen to you. Well, you get yourself a counselor or you get a social worker or someone that will listen to you, like I said earlier. Google it. There's a lot of great support groups out there that you could be a part of because we all need support time to time. I really encourage people to join support groups, whatever areas they need help with, whether it's depression, loneliness, whether you're feeling sorry for yourself, whatever the issue is. If you feel up to it, join a support group. If not, maybe you don't feel comfortable doing that. Again, there's a lot of great books that will encourage you in the areas that you need encouragement. So much knowledge is power, my friend. Like God said, my people perish without a vision. You got to continue to grow. The more knowledge you gain, the happier you will be. People perish for lack of knowledge. That's why it's so important to continue to grow mentally and spiritually and emotionally. And eventually, as you take up hobbies and you don't spend most of your time in your apartment or your house feeling sorry for yourself, you will continue to grow. And you will love again, and you will find someone. There is always someone out there that will validate you and appreciate you and not mistreat you and not take you for granted. Because there's many reasons why people feel sorry for themselves. Maybe it's been hard for you to get a job. Maybe you haven't found a job in a long time. But things will get better. They eventually do. Whether you believe in God or not, it's important to get on your knees, find a quiet room, and pray. Pray to God. I believe in the God of the Bible. Pray to God. He will hear you. Even though you may not see God, He's like the wind. You don't know where it's going, where it's coming, but He's there. And the wind, there's documentation where the wind has so much power to lift up a car, a house. God is real. That's what helped me in my life. And I've learned to love myself. I learned to be kind to myself. I've learned to forgive myself. These are the things that God has taught me because I'm a great believer in the Bible. And I love people. I mean, I think it's wonderful to have somebody in your life who will listen to you, who will respond to you. It's not good to live in an island by yourself. Doesn't lead to anything good. Continue to grow. Maybe you want to take up painting or singing or acting, or you want to take up carpentry, whatever it is that you want to take up. But keep your mind growing. And you will love again. There will be someone out there, but give it time. But keep growing. Keep your mind. Keep going forward. Don't stay stagnated, just feeling sorry for yourself. Because like I said earlier, if you allow your negative feelings to overpower you, they will destroy you. I mean, we all go through different emotions. We all, it's part of life. Like I said, if you need to cry, cry, but that's it. Move forward afterwards. There's a lot of good movies that you could watch that deal with sadness, and those movies will encourage you. There's many reasons why a person can feel sorry for themselves. Maybe you don't feel like you have a purpose in life. You feel all alone. You feel very lonely. You're very lonely. You feel like there's not a friend out there that cares for you. But don't spend so much time by yourself. That's not a healthy thing to do. Don't stop living your life just because a certain person is not in your life anymore. That is not what God wants you to do. He wants you to keep loving yourself, to continue to live, to continue to be kind to yourself. Don't stop living just because for whatever reason you're having a hard time financially or a certain person is not in your life. No, you have to keep living. You got to keep loving yourself. You gotta love yourself enough to continue to live life, enjoy life. There may be somebody out there that needs your love. But how in the world you're gonna know that if you don't continue to go out there, go for walks, feed the birds, the squirrels, but continue to be out there. Don't spend so much time by yourself feeling sorry for yourself because you will not accomplish anything doing that. And that's basically it. And I hope that today's podcast has been helpful to you. Remember that the world is a better place with you in it. And remember, whether you believe it or not, or maybe you don't feel like you're amazing, but you're amazing. You're an amazing person, and you are important. And you know how I know that? Because you're different. There's nobody like you. Nobody like you. And there's somebody out there I know that wants to know your love, that wants your friendship. There's somebody out there who may be feeling as lonely as you. There's a good movie that I saw years ago. It's a comedy with Steve Martin. It's called A Lonely Guy. A Lonely Guy. I highly recommend that movie. That movie will make you laugh. A Lonely Guy. Um, that's an incredible movie. There's a movie that I did now. It's on Tubi TV. It's called A Lonely Fall. That's a good one too. That's a romantic comedy. That was my first independent film. You could also check out that one, but I really recommend the first one with Steve Martin, A Lonely Guy. It's a really good comedian. It's a really good comedy. Anyway, I hope that today's podcast has been helpful for you. And remember that you are important. If everybody was the same, it would be a boring world. Well, thank God, everyone is not the same. And don't forget to subscribe to me. Maybe give it a like if you like. Subscribe to me, support my channel so I can continue to bring up important topics in today's troubled world to the best of my knowledge, ability, and continue to encourage. I may not be able to change the world, but if we can make a difference, that's all that matters for us to make a difference. And I hope everything works out for you. You can leave a comment below. And until next time, bye bye.